Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some Factorio. Hello Senna, how you doing? Hope you've had a good couple of weeks. I'm not entirely sure that first isn't a bot command that I set up. I think there's like 4 bot commands I set up. That was kind of the extent of my being a Twitch streamer. But yeah, hope you're doing well. Just need to check everything is... I seem to be a bit far over on the screen. There we go. Obviously took the camera on holiday. And I've been struggling to set it back up again. Yeah, so we've got game audio. Cool, I think that's all working. I do have the tail end of a cold. Basically, there's a lot of lurgy going around at the LAN party, and I picked something up. Some people got COVID. I was lucky to avoid that. But also, I have a horrible feeling I picked something up at... There's like a work event thing. And I think I might have picked something up there. It's been a tough few weeks, but finally we're back. It was kind of you to say, but I don't believe a word of that. Right, so, yes, the Farewell to Version 1 series. If you see me randomly doing weird things with key presses, then it's because I'm habituating to the new control system. So there's quite a few quality of life things that are so good, they're kind of becoming muscle memory already. We do have some very close biters here. I guess these must be colonisation groups. In fact, I bet they're in they're in pollution clouds, so we really need to take them out. But otherwise, the job really is finishing off the oil, which we didn't quite do, the oil production, which we didn't quite finish off last time. I think we got it stopped. Why is it all stopped? Why are we doing nothing? Output full. Fluidity. What you're waiting on? Petroleum seems to be full. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's because there's no coal. Why is there no coal? Oh, we have a traffic jam. Ah, these should be chain signals. Okay, we have to go and fix that then. Classic. Okay, so we'll quickly go and nip and do that. I think we might pop up here and sort them out, and then we can come back. Oh, excuse me. Because we kind of need to do something about walling this off in some way. Because we are going to start to get... I won't be surprised if there's some sneaky little biters in there, but yeah, I'm not sure how much room... It kind of depends. What my plan is really is to do purple, gold, and possibly space ions as like separate builds and just train them in. So we'd have all the labs and stuff here, but then we need somewhere to put the extra bases. So we probably do want to be using this space. So I guess really we need to understand what's going on, down here. Does this curve around here, or does it go that way or that way, and what we got? Okay, so let's go and fix that train. Or signal, anyway. Hello, Almonto. Afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Have I got chain signals? Yes, I've got chain signals. Cool. Go and fix them then. So I need to be very careful, as I say, with this thing. Not to kind of accidentally reveal anything, but it'd mainly be quality of life stuff. As I say, they've done all sorts of wonderful things with the new version. So even if you don't get to, if you choose not to buy Space Age, or pick it up later after reviews or what have you, then version 2 is superb. In particular, I've been putting some notes down for the video I want to do, which is like more considered opinions rather than the blog thing that I did. And just my instantly best thing. Where am I even going with this train up here? Is the new map gen. The new map gen on Nalvis is amazing. It's night and day. It's just like, if you're considering bringing a base forward, then I think you can, from what my tests have shown. Might be a bit of a pain depending on how big it is, but I think it's certainly doable to bring a base forward. But the map gen is so good, you don't want to. So I'm going to have to move one of you, aren't I? Which way are you going? You're going that way, okay. Let's pop you over there. Send you to an unload station. Or drop off, rather. Oh, you can't get to a drop off. Why not? I thought this was a drop off here, wasn't it? Is that not where you want to go? Why can't you path to that? Destination full. Okay. But this hasn't got any coal in it. Rail train limit is 1. Waiting at pickup. Standing at pickup. Destination full. Because that's not got any coal in it. And yet it's saying it's... No, train limit 1. Why can't you get there? How very annoying. So, you want to get there. That's a perfectly viable path. And yet you're not taking it. Maybe it's another drop-off that it's trying to... Oh, it's trying to get to that one. And that one is full. Okay. How about we send you over here. Force you to go there. And then maybe you'll reconsider your life choices. I heard some other LAN player also mention that they did not even care for the cliff explosive, even on Volcanus, and they usually play cliffs disabled. Yeah, it is just so much better. It's like, you know, there's nothing wrong with the maps that this does. You know, they're perfectly fun to play on. You know, everyone hates cliffs. I'm sure there are people who don't hate, you know, who like cliffs, but the thing that cliffs were always meant to do when they introduced them was act as natural walls, basically, to almost give you a free walls, and particularly a walls that the biters, you know, can't trash. You know, they can't destroy cliffs, and all they do instead is just get in the way, just like they don't provide any defense, because, you know, and it's in the Friday Facts, you know, where they follow the line of, because it's just a noise, you know, algorithm that, you know, they've just set a different filter on it, and therefore it basically follows the line of the water, and it's like completely useless. You do very occasionally get things like this that you can just about use, but normally they're just really annoying. You know, these are not going to be used. I mean, maybe that one, but they're not really going to be used for cliffs, and they just are on Nalvis. You just, you know, on the new map gen, they're just in really useful places, and I haven't, as you say, I haven't even considered. Well, you know, my first thought wasn't, when am I going to get cliff explosives to get rid of? You know, they're just useful. But also, the way it generates the maps is just so much better. It's just like, it actually feels like a planet, you know? It's sort of, all those things that Arundel was showing off in that Friday Facts, where it has like things that look like valleys, and there's like a bit on one of my maps that it looks like a little... what do you call it? Like a hill almost, with like, and it's got like the trees are in completely surrounded by the cliff, and so it actually looks like a little hill, you know. And it's got all sorts of stuff like that. And the lakes, like some of them are gigantic, you know, absolutely enormous lakes. And it just feels, you know, it's more like a sea than a lake sort of thing. And it just looks better in just about every way, you know. Oh, look, we've also had quite a lot of visitors by the looks of things. Let's get these repaired. How much? I've got plenty of ammo still. Cool. In fact, maybe we should... Have I got researches? I was just wondering if maybe we could do a damage buff. But yeah, so as I say, even if, you know, if you don't touch Space Age, you don't care about any of that, version 2 map gen on now, this is just chef's kiss, you know. Let's see, can I do them? I have a feeling it won't work with it because I've not got Blue Science running. But everything else is blue science anyway, so let's just queue them up as our sort of first jobs. I don't think am I using flamethrower fueling? Maybe. But yeah, it's just great. You know, it's just, you know, almost don't know how to express how nice it is. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong button again. Yeah. Got to turn the bots off. That's going to be one of the most confusing things, is they've done some tweaks. I don't know if I can really say about them, but they basically, I think it was, I did actually say in the blog, they've changed some default settings that I've, you know, away from what they used to be. And I'm not entirely sure why. And I have on my, you know, on my games, I've sort of turned them back again, basically. But in the LAN event, I was like pressing buttons and, you know, trying to bring up things on menus and stuff like that, and it's like, well, that's not even, you know, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? Okay, so we better take those out as well now. Let's see if we can remember. And I don't have combat bots, do I? But then we don't have the buffs on this. Okay. Let's get some worm clearance going on. Don't need poison on there. Cool. You guys. Oh, they just melt in this, don't they? Wow. Good lord. That's so easy to get rid of them. They're an absolute pain in the new game. So what are your spoiler-free thoughts on the space logistics? Based on left-hand rails. Yeah. Oh, based, sorry, yes, as in. Good. Yeah, I can't, I've said this before, I struggle with right-hand drive. I just can't, my brain just won't accept it, because I've been driving for, as in on the road, you know, driving cars for like 30 years, and so right-hand drive is just, I just can't make sense of it, as it were. So I always do left. But so on space logistics, I cut this up. To be honest, that's an area it's really hard to talk about, because it's something they've said nothing about in Friday Facts. My kind of, what I can probably say, and I'm a little wary as well, the whole Gleba thing got a bit taken out of, you know, and it's because of the nature of what Truman does with his content, you know, where it's memes and jokes and all that sort of stuff, but, you know, or it's actually pronounced Gleber, apparently, because, you know, it's not the, means soil or something in Czech, apparently. But yeah, so it needs work, was my reaction. But more from the point of view, you know, on the, you know, Big Worm Friday Facts today, or yesterday rather, Arundel's talking about the feedback on the combat. You know, it needs a bit more of that. And it's that type of thing where clearly, because you've got the situation where basically the only people who've played with it are the devs, you know, so we were effectively, so you know all that feedback that they got during, you know, early access on this version, they've obviously not had that, you know, they've not had people playing it and saying, well, this needs to be better, and I don't understand this, and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So it's literally them that's been playing it, and of course if you've built a thing, you just know how it works. You don't need a tutorial to explain it to you. And writing a tutorial can be, you know, quite tricky. And explaining things with tooltips and what do you need to explain, what can you just assume people will understand, and all that sort of stuff. So that would be my main comment. But as I say, that's not because it's bad. It's just a little difficult to understand at times. Once you do understand it, it's fine. But I say that initial, wait, so what do I do? You know, is not clear enough, basically. And I think the best way of kind of expressing that is that, so the speedrunning team, you know, because I mentioned that, and nobody's cried. Tell me I can't say that they were there, but they took about half an hour to work out how to, you know, do space logistics and build spacecraft and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, as I said in the blog thing, they're the guys you'd expect to just instantly get it, you know, because they, you know, just understand the game on a more, you know, pure systems basis, and they couldn't work it out, sort of thing. So if they need a bit of explaining, then I think it needed a bit of, you know, a bit more tutorialization, a bit more thought. There are some more complex things I can't really talk about at all, but yeah, as I say, could do with some work, but it's fine. It's, you know, it's not. Once you've worked it out, it's okay. Okay, so I think that was them sorted out. So we need to head over to the chemical stuff. Have I got labs and bits and pieces? And yeah, I think we're okay, aren't we? I'd like to pick up some more. I've managed to put myself right in the danger zone of just crashing into everything. But I'd like to get some more poison capsules, so we've got them. I think I might do a sweep down the bottom first, and then we'll come back on the chemical stuff. Where are they? There they go. Okay. Are you going to stream the expansion pack when the embargo lifts? No, basically. So I've been thinking about that. What I will probably do... So my plan is to stream on launch day, basically. And do... Like... Well, at the moment, I basically have a deadline on the... Oh, I've not set the uranium up at all, have I? I forgot about that. Okay, we need to do that as well. I have a deadline for my job. I've not got any better at that in the new game. Driving over things with the tank. I have a deadline for my work that basically means that I can't take the days off, basically. So the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I need to work at the moment. And so my plan is to basically do a poll on my community board on the YouTube, and essentially ask people what planet they want me to go to first. And what I'll do is I'll prep a save so that it's ready to go, essentially. So we are literally there with a platform, you know, ready to do the thing. And basically whatever comes out on top on the poll is where I'll go. Because I'll obviously have the advantage that I can set that file up, and as I've been saying, I think unless you are a speedrunner, there's no way you're getting to the first planet on the first day. I mean, you know, you could cheat it or what have you, but it's just too much. You know, there's too much game for you to get through. So the days 1, 2, and 3, my plan was to do a short, you know, 1 hour-ish type stream in the evening, because that's all I could do after work. Oh well. And so what I'll do, because I want to stick with what they've requested that we don't show anything about the final planet or the end game. And the problem is Factoriopedia is enormously useful. It's like a hugely useful resource, and I constantly going into it to check recipes and check sciences and all this sort of stuff. And it doesn't have any filters on it, basically. So if I fire it up, there's a very good chance that it will just show you all of the spoiler stuff. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing it as a Let's Play. So I'd record me, you know, doing that file, and then I can just edit out the bits that are showing the end, basically. And then that'll be the file that we pick up the streams from launch day. And I'll do other videos, basically, talking about... Crikey. There's a quite big nest, something. Talking about the end game and all that sort of stuff afterwards, but you know, talking about the intermediate planets kind of when I can. So, no, I mean, I definitely couldn't... I mean, even if I streamed the week before, I basically I'd have to, you know, I can't take that much time off work. I've not got that much time left. The slight caveat to that, a slight change, is that it looks like this deadline is a non-thing because we don't have any applications to put in. You know, we don't have any. There's no one wants to basically do anything. So I might actually be able to move my holiday and stream on those days, but it'd still be the same thing. I would do, you know, a file that I'd prepped basically. It was a very long explanation, but I hope that makes sense. As I say, basic thing is I'll do a let's play type videos. I think that I'll edit down and chop out the new stuff. Plus, I'll be honest. I think I can say this. I mean, you've not. I don't know. You know, there's loads and loads of quality of life stuff, so it is different, but it's pretty much the same. You know, the expansion is an expansion. It's not a side mission or something like that. It's not, you know, you start the game and suddenly you're, crikey, there's some big nests around here, aren't there? Suddenly you're able to launch rockets. You know, it's not that sort of a change. So you're still, you know, doing red science, it's normal red science. You're still doing green science, it's normal green science. You know, although I guess they haven't technically confirmed all that in the Friday Facts. You know, they've not said otherwise. I'm going to say there are changes, but I'm not going to tell you what those are. But yeah, so even if I was streaming from a new game, it would just be like playing this. You know, it'd be like this series basically to start with. So if I just edit it down, I think it's a bit more. You know, because I'm sure you've all seen, Factorio playthroughs basically. Okay, so we need to know what's going on here. But otherwise, this gives us a bit more strategic information. We have some quite big nests, which is... Oh! Didn't know they were so close. Okay. I didn't say what the Friday Facts was I? For the VOD thing. Nuts. Need to just quickly do that. One of them's got lost down here. Yeah, so I will just bring that up, sorry. So if I do that, take that away. Oh! Do you mind? Yes, so what's going on here? Oh, we're trapped with satin poison. Yes, so for the record, I completely forgot to do this, but for the record, the most recent Friday Facts was this one, 429 Volcanus Demolisher Enemies, where they revealed the Demolisher, or Big Wormy Boy. Isn't he pretty? Lovely. Oh, sorry, I got lost on chat as well there. How are we doing? As seen in many land videos, there are small capsules leaving and arriving at the space platform, command center, and the landing pad. Are these what the rocket to space platform transfer would look like? If it's not under NDA, I don't really know with that one. They've shown them a lot. You can work out. I mean, technically they've not said specifically, but the thing you think they are is what they are. You know, that's all I can really say. You know, if you look at the speculations, you know, I wasn't wrong, as it were. But yes, I mean, you know, they haven't technically said what those are, but they've shown them so many times. They've even shown, if you look on one of the videos, I think it's got someone in one of them, so, you know, it's obvious what they are. But I say they haven't technically said, but, you know, if you make a guess, you're probably right with your guess, let's put it that way. Yeah, I want to prepare a lot as well before I go anywhere. Some want to have the best stuff. Oh, hello. Bliss Pomatics, I did not. Plummy Touch, rather, I did not see you. had joined. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, on a president where some saying when I have the best stuff I can get on Alvis first. The Demolisher really hammered in the need to be prepared. Depending on how the chain lightning effect works, it might be a better idea to start with Fulgora. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do I'm going to probably do something saying like what I'm going to do as my probably, standard playthrough. Obviously, I'll go, as I say, the first one I'll go where the audience wants, as it were. But, I have some thoughts as to what my play style and what I would enjoy, how that translates into what planets to do first type of thing. So yeah. But I think if they can kind of sort the Gleber issues, or at least make them, do some tweaks, basically, then I think all of them are pretty viable. So in theory, we could go across it. Wow, that's a big... I mean, it's nice to have the space, but it's a big area to wall off. That's going to take a while. This is the thing, you see. In the new map gen, there would almost certainly be something across here. Or there'd be like some gigantic forest where you were like, well, the biters aren't going to colonise. Get out of it. Silly thing. Gobbing at me. Yeah, I say it's just so much better on the new map gen. It's almost comical. But yeah, I think it's viable in a sense to go to all the planets first. Even now, even with let's say the tweaks that they're doing and what have you. The demolishers are only really a problem, and it does say this in the Friday Facts, when you get to the point where you want to actually do tungsten. And as it mentions, you can do guerrilla mining, where you just sort of run in, do a bit of mining, and then disappear before the demolisher arrives, because it's not quick. It's not a speedy thing. So you have got time to take it apart, and I'm pretty sure that's a sort of viable strategy for your first go, basically, first bit. But when you actually want to do proper mining, you kind of have to take them on, because they just... I mean, even though... Because they do a patrol as well, and they won't immediately reach stuff, so you... what our my teammates were finding was they were, I've come to the wrong bit, haven't I? We're not doing this bit. We're doing this bit over here. They were basically laying down the mine, building it all up, and then the demolisher would arrive and just flatten it all. And it was like... But in other words, it gives you enough time to build stuff. And then, it, kind of... Is this train still not... What an annoying little thing you are. Right. Let's go there. First. And then it's interpreting it the other way anyway. Oh, I don't know. Let's just leave you there. Let you unload. Oh, and that one's followed it. Oh, it's because this is set to 1 as a max thing anyway, isn't it? Yeah. The troubles with trains, eh? The troubles with trains. That should probably be a train anyway. So, if I pop you back on auto, bet you're going to know path now, because the... No? Destination full, that's okay. So when that one's empty, we'll send it back. In fact, we might as well send it back now, won't we? Send you back to pick up. Or are you trying to get to the other... Destination full. You're trying to get to the other one now as well, aren't you? Brilliant. Is this one not full? And the other train's arrived now. So train limit 00. Right. These trains, eh? These trains. Causing me heartache. Right. Let's pop you out of the way. Don't take the things out. Send you back. Wow, that was painful, wasn't it? So I'll just speculate without any knowledge about Glaber, really. But if the issue is that big, then I guess they couldn't adjust it before release, because then it would require new fancy stuff. Or moving fancy stuff from another planet and rebalancing that now seems impossible. I'll just pretend it's not that big of an issue. I mean, the thing I can say about it is what I said in a comment, that for me the issue with it was what you get, the reward, is kind of not as worth the effort as the other planets. So the issue for me, I think Trupan just doesn't like the planet, which is fair enough, but as in he didn't like the mechanics and stuff. But the issue for me was more like, as I look at the tech tree and I see what cool toys you can get from it, the cool toys that you can get on the other planets feel more worthwhile. And if you remember when they first talked about planets, they wanted each planet to be like a really viable choice. They wanted it to be like, oh, do I go there first or do I go there first? And whereas when I look at the list of techs and knowing what I have to do, I look at it and go, Glaber's third choice, basically. And that, to me, is what they need to tweak. Now, whether that's a big tweak they need to do or a small tweak, there's no way for me to know. I'm not a game designer type of thing. So it might be that just a little bit of tweaking will sort it out. But yeah, that's kind of all I can really say, without sort of explaining it in detail. But it wasn't that it wasn't fun, or it didn't look like fun, because I technically haven't played it. But it was more that if I'm assessing which planet do I go to first, Glaber's just auto third choice, And again, not because what you get there isn't cool and interesting and fun to play, but more, well, why don't I go to those other two first, And I say that's not what they wanted from that selection. So that's the thing I think they need to check. Others will have different opinions though. So I hope that explains it a little bit more. But I wouldn't pretend if only do fixes in 2.1 or something. Yeah, there's always that. Welcome back. Thank you very much. German, thank you very much indeed. Hope you're having a good day. Another bot. Cool. Try train stacker. Yeah, I should have put train stackers in, but I was kind of thinking, because it's only going to be a small base, this, so kind of thinking we'd be fine with just a little bit, but train stackers probably would have been a better way to go. I go to Glaber for the music. Yeah, well, there's that as well. I mean, I do want to emphasise it. I think it got a bit blown out of proportion because, particularly the style of Trupan's videos, they're a bit sort of, on the nose, and it's a deliberate thing. But it wasn't. Possibly was taken a little bit, it's more significant an issue than. Why have I done that? That's dumb. Huh. Than I personally thought it was, but we've got different opinions, Why have I done that? That don't work at all. I guess I just copied it from that, didn't I? That was dumb. Okay, let's try that again then. In fact, it didn't even have a solid input, does it? I must have just copied and pasted it. In fact, do we have... We must have water here as well. Agreed. And I'll vote for you to go to Glaber first then. Yeah, agreed. It wasn't there wouldn't necessarily be a punishment. It was just say, It's like, you know, prioritising them. I say that's not one I would list first, and they might have a fix already, you know. I think that was one of the other things that possibly didn't, and I did try and say it very much in this most recent video, that we were a bunch of playtesters, really. That was kind of the point of the LAN event, you know. And so there's all sorts of stuff when you're doing that, where you're like, you know, when you're designing a game, and I say particularly when you built the thing, you don't realise what is difficult for people to understand. You know, you have to have them, you know, play it and feed that back to you, you know. So that was kind of the whole point of it. And they're constant. I mean, they are updated. You know, this isn't, you know, shouldn't be a surprise either. But they are constantly updating it. You know. And this was that thing, isn't it? Of like, you know, when 100,000 people play your game, suddenly, you know, there's all these bugs emerge that you didn't realise that were there. So, obviously it's not that scale, but it's like the same thing. The more people play it, the more bugs you find, essentially. Why is no water actually oh. Because I'm a genius. So that's sulfuric acid. I bet I've hooked that up wrong. I've not hooked it up at all. Oops. That. Cool. Loads and loads of sulfur. Are we happy about the flipping? You mean as in flipping buildings round so that you can put the pipes around? That's pretty cool, I must admit. One thing I didn't play at the... I didn't use at the LAN, but I have since, is the whole circuit control stuff. And really big fan of that. I think I really like those changes. Did have some slight surprises to it, and I think I mentioned in one of the things where they're using red and green to mean an awful lot of things. You know, it's really unfortunate that these are red and green wires, I would say, because, you know, red means stop and green means go, and it's like, you know, it has hidden meaning in it, as it were, hidden context. So yeah, it's a little unfortunate, I would say, that we do have dual meaning for the wires, because it has confused the heck out of me, basically. Is the point. So I normally do this, but I think I'm just going to extend these down, because I don't know that we need that much sulfuric acid. So assuming we end up with 1,000,000 billion sulfuric acids, am I just going to blend them together? I just blend. But yeah, as I say, I really like the tweak to all of the circuit stuff. Do we need that? What there? This needs to be a load station. Right. Can I just copy all of this? I think I can, can't I? Is this train just sitting here because it's not turned on? It is. It also doesn't have a drop-off. Okay. The remote stuff is awesome as well. That's another one. Oh no, that needs to be sulfur drop-off, really. Am I doing red circuits here? I thought I identified somewhere where I was going to build them. Clearly not. Okay, so this needs to be sulfur drop-off, not plastic pickup. Drop off. Cool. Do we have any logic on it? I can't press that button, can I? Ah, dear. Input signal. Yeah, so it's just requesting one. Cool. Okay. Right, so we do need all of the output gubbins, though. Let's copy that. So that it's ready. I missed the inserters, didn't I? Yes. There we go. That's already got its wire connections on it. Okay. So that will be the sulfur, and we will need to feed that in to those. They also need red circuits, which I say is going to be the next job after this one. Right. So this needs to be sulfur pickup. Dividing that by sulfur. Doesn't hold 4,000, does it? It's 2,000. Yeah. Do I have a train? Okay. And then we want to copy and paste this bit. Oops. Like that. Cool. Oh dear. A likely ban evader. Wow. Wait. Yeah. Another one. Recently had to reread some of the Friday facts. There is always so much that I forget in the months since I first saw them, like tier 2 modules needing space science to unlock. Yeah, it's there are tweaks, as I say, to the recipes. So when you are playing it through, there are things you're going to have to... why has it not deleted the message as well? Oh, that's not... You didn't even see that. It's auto caught that. Interesting. Yes, there are tweaks, as I say. It's not that it's identical, but it's like, it's almost so small. Some of the stuff, particularly early on, and that's why it's not, I'm not going to stream it like straight away as from the beginning, as it were, and I'll edit it down because it's not. I don't think it's like telling you anything you don't know in a sense. Plus, as I say, I can't do it anyway. Unfortunately, I have to earn money to buy things, which I don't know. Sounds like a really bad idea, that to me. Is remote view too good? Like, does it end up removing the need for you to go anywhere, basically? I think it depends on you as a player. I am and was still doing a lot of stuff like in person, because that's just sort of, in a sense, how I like to play, if you see what I mean. But it does, when you're doing things on other planets, it is very, very convenient, to say the least. It is really well implemented, I would say. Can I say that? I don't think I can really say that, but yeah, it's like I could fully understand people getting into a mode where essentially they just do a remote view. They basically forget that where their body is, if you see what I mean. I think that is, for some people, they're going to get into that. Oh, I can't do that, can I? So that, no, let's just manually build it, I guess. No, okay, just copy and paste the bit that matters. So that bit, do that bit. Okay. But yeah, remote view is excellent. I mean, I know some people weren't as keen on it in the SpaceX, but I really liked it in that as well, to be honest with you. So it's almost just a continuation and improvement of that, really. So yeah, I say, I think you need to find your own flow with it. You know, find your own. Well, do I like this? Do I want to keep using it? What have you? But as a general thing, I think a lot of players are going to find it like a really, really, really nice way of doing things. So I guess in theory we might have a bacon in there. So we would want sort of pipes here. Do I even have like a train of lube? I do have a train of lube. Okay. So, I don't know. It's be nice to maybe have it here. Just so we got better access to it. And then maybe... One thing I would say, and this is a sort of a... I don't know, bit cheeky, but if you go back and like look at the Friday facts and think about why they might have done things, you kind of it reveals a lot more. I don't think you'll guess, which is why I'm saying this, but there is a lot of stuff where it's like it's almost like it's like the whole thing I tried to do with my speculations of, well, why introduce that? Well, it's a quality of life thing, great, but why would you need that quality of life thing? And if you look at it like that, you'll actually kind of understand some of the stuff. But say, the trouble is, with me saying that, is that the things that it would be, or the places where that would be evident, you don't really realise until you're playing the actual thing. So, so the clue is kind of in the detail of what they've added, but you can't. The reason for them doing it, sort of thing, is like how to phrase it. So it's like when you kind of see it, you're like, oh, I see why they did that now. I say I don't think you'll be able to actually guess why they've done some of the things they've done. But yeah, it's quite funny in that way. It's even true of the Roboport one. There is reasons for them doing that, but I say I was trying not to hint at. I say there is a lot of things. Yeah, at least the likely ban evaders don't get shown to public chat anymore. Brain in a jar engine. Yeah. I mean, you can almost be that. Why is nothing coming up now? Oh, because there's no connections. Oh, and also it won't have iron plate, will it? Need to feed that in somehow. Wait, that's going the wrong way. How did that happen? But yeah, I say, have a read through and have a think about why they might have done some stuff. It's might give you some clues, but I would be amazed if you do actually guess. Even things like that, the tiny little. So, what I was doing there, I was looking for that to turn green, because that's it's one of the things they have talked about where it shows you exactly what is the maximum length. And I know a lot of players they just like to do do them like that, which is fine. But I was trying to use the maximum extension of the belt, and it has a little thing. It just goes green, and so it just instantly tells you that's exactly the right length of the belt to make maximum use of it. And even something like that I've internalised already. Okay, so we need to hook up iron plate, which means I think having an iron plate drop-off station. Interesting. Have we got one of those already that we can pick? Pick copy. Yes, we have. Okay. In fact, can we pick? Can we copy the logic? Probably. Yeah, I should have put some sort of stacker in. That was kind of dumb. Let's just grab the whole thing. Work with it from there. Well, so like Friday Facts also for the explanations things, it's also funny how you apparently have knowledge about so many different random things that somehow become relevant, like something about worm muscles. Whatever it was. Yeah, I'm a very odd... Someone has made a very similar observation before. I mean, I'm very odd anyway, let's be frank. But, yeah, I sort of... I don't know, I love, like, learning new things and just, like, completely random stuff. You know, I don't... I can't do that, can I? No, I can do that. There we go. Yeah, I just, you know, find new facts and stuff, like, fun to learn. And even if they're like, because I'm, you know, physicist by training, and, you know, it's kind of my natural comfort zone of sciences type of thing. But, you know, even bits in biology and psychology and all these types of things. I just enjoy learning new stuff, basically. And so then, as you say, you get something random comes along like this, and it's like, how the heck do you know that? And it's just... I spent my life just acquiring... It's almost like... I mean, I always actually struggled with Trivial Pursuit, but if you remember the game Trivial Pursuit, it's like that's my brain, basically. It is this random collection of nonsense that for some reason things keep cropping up in Friday Facts that I just happen to know about. Let's just go this way. It's probably a terrible... In fact, let's actually take it that way in case I need to build something extra. But yeah, I just, you know, very much one for just kind of randomly learning things. Someone says similar, so pressing N in vanilla to use SpaceX remote view. Just a month ago? Yeah, I mean, it's exactly that. There's, my muscle memory is starting to shift, and I'm getting a bit confused with things at times. But yeah. That I can spaghetti it around. If and when did a train turn up? I expect not, because I imagine I've just got one. I've run out of locos. Can I just hand build an extra one? I can, although I bet there's one in there. In my car, wherever that is, or tank rather. Yeah, there we go. Let's just do that. This is not hooked up. Need to go from there, I think. Iron plate. Set train limit. Cool. Awesome sauce. Oh! Hello. What are you doing here? Okay. Hello? I guess because it must have just... Do I have two trains then? Drop off. Stops with this name, trains with this... No, it just... I guess it was just bored. It hadn't gone to the other one for a while, so... Thought you'd come over here, say hello. Yeah. Oops. Just a month ago, indeed. Yeah, it's a very short period of time. I guess the last tier of underground belt is even more expensive, and therefore I wouldn't want to waste them on short tunnels. Yeah, I mean, I just hate wasting the material, full stop. I don't know why. It's like, you know, other things are just just, you know, just throw away, basically. But there you go. You're going to need a bigger base, indeed. Indeed. Cool. Physics, I wish I had the time and attention to learn more. Again, 3,500 hours at Factorio vet here. Does anyone know of a good explainer video for the new logistics group stuff? I haven't seen any apart from Tristan's Friday Facts videos. Don't know which number it is, though. No, I can't remember offhand. I mean, there won't be. I don't think you'll get one until. I mean, other than Friday Facts explaining what it's about, you won't get a proper, you know, tutorial on it until the 14th. I suspect it's one of the things that people will do tutorials on, because it is hugely useful. It's there are quirks to it. I mean, there are quirks to everything, aren't there? You know, in every game that you know you need to understand how it works. There are quirks to it that it's taken me a while to work out. Because I'm doing, you know, because I'm, you know, we're all on the. Everyone that was at the LAN is. Oh, I didn't hook up the water, did I? Is he's on the beta branch, and you know, so we're also doing playthroughs or continuing the, you know, the save that we had at the LAN, and I have been doing that, but I've been trying to focus on. So one of the things I've been trying to look at is the trains, and how the new system works and how the angles work and stuff like that. And say things like the new way of doing circuits, trying to work through that, understand that a bit more. And another one I have looked at is the logistics group, and sort of trying to understand that. So Friday Facts 382, there you go. So yeah, it's the type of thing I think needs, or you know, people would benefit, or it would help a lot of people, shall we say, to have tutorials on. So I suspect a lot of people will do them. I mean, I'd love to do them, as I say, but as I always said, I keep prattling on about. I do have a full-time job that takes up a lot of my time, so it can be a little tricky to find the time to do those. But I think it's a one that, you know, I'd also. I mean, obviously, some people don't like him and stuff, but it's sort of one that where you know, a Nilhouse masterclass would probably be the thing, because it is quite complex, and you know, there's a lot of say nuance to it, and you can do a lot with it. So kind of it's in that territory of, you know, once you've been playing with it for dozens of hours, you know, you'll understand it a lot better. But yeah, it's a interesting addition. There's a bit of belt missing there. Is that just because we've not built it, or it is? Well, there you go. Okay, so that gets us both sulfur and sulfuric acid. We can now send this to here. And we can just do a full and empty. And cool, so it was full. So let's nip over, we'll hook that up. We now have a train, so we could go and do uranium. Do we have mining drills? We do. Excellent. So let's get uranium on the go. Because I notice we've got 25 centrifuges. I don't know how we've got 25 centrifuges. Okay, so let's get that hooked up. We'll set up uranium. And then obviously we'll just let it chunk through. See when and if we get the numbers, as it were. What is it, 40 we need for Covarex? So we'll just let it chunk away on that. And then we'll start harnessing the power of the atom. Okay, now I guess I was going to do a half and half belt. Okay. I was just thinking this is going to be... Oh, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I was going to say it would have been better probably... So I can't really see us using this for anything else. But then I'm not going to do any other building here, really, am I? Yeah, I'll do. That'll do. So we'll just do a line this way. Let us underground this. No. One of the most bizarre things about the LAN was the number of devs that came up and sort of said hello. I did talk about this in the vlog, so you know, if you've watched that, then I'm not going to add anything more here, but it was very, very weird. Particularly as I said in the thing, being very much an introvert and shy person, that they're coming up and sort of saying hello and like the videos and all that sort of stuff, which I found particularly weird because why is that on 2,000? Particularly weird because obviously you'd think they would know about what was in the Friday Facts, But yeah, it was very, very nice. But I was just sort of sat there going, okay, so 2,000 on the coal train. I'm assuming this logic works. One of the things you can do, and I'm pretty sure... Oh no, I better not say because I don't... Have they said that? I don't think... I think they have, but I'll just in case they haven't. But I say there are all sorts of tiny little tweaks that are just make your life so much easier. Particularly when you come back to things, So that doesn't take... So that is a 4,000 as well. Cool. But this, because they stacked to 50, yeah. So that would be 2,000, okay. But I have to change that to... Yeah, this is obviously my generic one, so I need to copy paste this. Am I doing them that far apart? So, I think. Maybe I've got this templated, have I? Ah, I've got the logic templated, okay. Now are they... Yeah, they're slightly narrow, aren't they? Okay. Okay, so we've got the actual station as well. Is there one straight between them? I think that's right. I think that goes there. Should be able to tell. No. No. Okay, so... There. So that distance, is it the same? Yes. Yes. Okay, so that works then. And I do have that all templated, so I can adjust this, and this needs to be sulfurs. Hello, you're back. Welcome. We're still asking for one. Because we haven't got enough stuff. Excellent. And are you busy munching on the sulfur? You are. We don't have any modules in the blue ones. That's not good. Get them in. Cool. Right. Uranium. Oops. Like description of the train interrupts in early game. Something about a sledgehammer. Yeah, I would say again, it's a perfect example of what I was saying earlier, where it's like sledgehammer to crack a nut was the expression I had, where you're basically applying this massively powerful, incredibly, capable system, and all you want to do is like add 1 + 1, and you're basically using a supercomputer to do 1 + 1, and it's like until you get to the point where you're building an AI or something, just to keep that analogy going, but until you get... I'm going the wrong way, I know. Because the walls are that way. Until you get into the point where you need that level of capability, simple, direct one-to-one, pick up, drop off, full empty trains are just perfectly fine as well. And I say you need like a developed train system. If you're doing an interrupt to say, right, when you're out of fuel, or close to being out of fuel, go to the refueling depot. Great. Well, if all of your stations aren't connected to the refueling depot, that's a pointless system to set up, So I think when people do these, particularly those of you who do like the city blocks, I think city blocks would be perfect for that sort of system. And the point where you're building is, you don't start the game and then instantly build city blocks, you have to go through the process of getting to where that's a viable thing for you to build. And it's exactly the same, basically. You don't go in and straight away build, the final thing. You build it when it's an appropriate point to build it. So, as I say, because why no one used it at the LAN is because there was no need to. We weren't building mega bases. We weren't building big scale production. We were just trying to get to the planets as quickly as possible, So yeah, I'm sure. Oh, of course we've got. I forgot we had cliff explosives already on this. It does mean I've just destroyed my defences, but there you go. Put that in there. So yeah, so as I say, it wasn't. It looked like it would be something that would be really great, and I think, particularly as I say, if you do something like City Box, and you have your standard way of doing train interrupts, I think it's enormously powerful for that, because you can just slap it down and it works because you've tested it and used it and worked through that whole process. So yeah, I think it's a great thing, but I didn't use it because I didn't get far enough in to make it useful. So the stage where this is at, this would probably be a good place to start using it, because I'm getting a universal train system, whereas before I was doing point to point. There'd be no point this train having an interrupt, because where is it going? Or this one, But this system, yeah, you could have a station here that is the refueling, and it goes and always picks up, and then when you get higher level fuels, you just make sure that this is where you build them, and da. So yeah, massively useful, but like at the point where it's something that you would actually want to do. My train is all out there. It's a bit tough playing Satisfactory now without the complex train system and scheduling factor, even from 1.1, but it's doable, I think. I haven't touched Satisfactory. I assume that is. I know there was quite a lot of bug reports and things that they're fixing, but I know, and I also know a heck of a lot of people playing it. Huge numbers. Oh, hello, Bacon Magician. How are you doing? Watching your review of Friday Facts. Will join in fully later. No worries. It's quite surprised to have a dev commenting on a video of mine. They are quite involved. Yeah, very much so. It's I think the biggest surprise of it was so a few of them have commented on the videos, which has been lovely, but typically the ones that they wrote or are a big part of. So I was like, maybe they're just sharing it around, saying, oh, there's one on your Friday Facts, but quite a lot of them who hadn't commented who came and said hello, sort of thing. So I think part of it was there aren't that many people who do, and particularly the in-depth ones that I do. So a bit of an element of they're just sort of fascinated to see what people think, as it were, and what I and other people have misunderstood and what have you. So yeah, I think that was a big part of it, really. It's funny you liken the Demolisher to a kaiju, because my first thought when I saw it was Gojira. I think it's the strings track. Sounds like Godzilla music. Yeah, it's very, very. I'm guessing that's what the composer Pater was kind of referencing. And when you hear the other tracks, the other ones that they composed, they are a bit like that as well. They are a bit sort of, that big bombastic, monster has appeared type music. So that was obviously what he was composing them, had in mind, as it were. It kind of explains why that music was always a bit sort of, wow, this is epic music for a planet that's basically just a lava-filled rock, basically. Okay. Have you got enough to justify? Let's do that, I think. Okay, and then I missed out a couple of connections today. No, we're okay, but I need more pipe, didn't I? I should have gone back. Yeah, I need a load more pipe. Okay. Haven't set up personal logistics either, but yeah, there's actually in the, shall we say, extended canon of the excuse me, when the more silly ones, there is one that is a bit like a sort of snaky one. I'm pretty sure it's like metallic in some way as well. And that was the one that I can't remember what the canon is. A long time since I watched the proper old school Toho, Godzilla movie. But yeah, I seem to remember there's one that is a bit like an armored, wormy thing. It's a lot shorter, and sort of fatter, as it were. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there is one like that, and that was the one that popped into my head. Okay, so as I say, I've not set up the requests because I've been lazy. Excuse me. Pipes must be at the top, mustn't they? Okay. Is that all I need? Oh, thank you very much for the subs gifts. Thanks, very kind, Almonto, sorry. Crikey. So it's very kind. I'm afraid people don't really get anything for for the subscriptions. I still haven't set up any of the emojis or any of that stuff. But that is very kind. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Where were we? Search Factorio is really great, but some bugs are very annoying. Most notably the scanner not being able to show almost any of the hard drives. Oh, really? Some new bugs, because they changed all the recipe things. They've made it what sounded like more useful. So not being able to find hard drives sounds a bit annoying. Some new bugs I haven't encountered before, so a bit surprising. Overall, great game though. Yeah, I really want to give it a go. I was saying, blathering on before that, before I did the holiday and the LAN party and that I might, depending on how long this series takes to finish, I might just do one random one. Also thinking that I might do it multiplayer with my friend and we'll give that a go, sort of thing. But yeah, I really want to give it a go. But I'm trying to play Space Age. Basically, I'm trying to make sure I kind of finish it and do a proper playthrough. But it's so big. It's just enormous. My girlfriend noticed the demolishers are visible on the map screen. They show about territory. They seem to be moving over cliffs without destroying them, so maybe they only destroy cliffs in attack mode. That I can't. Yeah, that's something I don't know. Basically, I do know they do destroy cliffs, but it would make sense if it's because from what I understand of the paths, they're like fairly fixed. I say they've probably changed all this. But because as it says, they patrol the edge basically, so they don't go into the middle. And so it'd be a bit weird if they destroyed all the cliffs around the edge, if you see what I mean. It'd be very, strange, I think, if they just took out all of those cliffs. Because they're meant to be volcanoes, They're meant to be these big volcanoes. And then having just this path of broken cliffs around would be a bit strange, I think. So yeah, I would suspect that that's probably true, but I don't know. I literally haven't seen it. Makes sense as I was worried. As I was worried, they blow up half the biome by the time you got it. Yeah, and particularly the big ones. They're really wide as well. So the amount that they must trash must be enormous. Thank you. Well, thanks. In Factorio, there are some also annoying bugs, but the engineer has to fix them. Yeah, we get thermonuclear solutions to those eventually. So, well, I've had like 50 hours of entertainment from a Friday Factory. It says. Very kind though, as I say, there's no need for you to do that. I don't say. The advantage of having the job is I kind of don't need to rely on subscriptions, but it is very much appreciated. Very kind, thank you. Many of the new alternatives are quite amazing. Yeah, so it looked like quite a good set of tweaks they've done. I really like what they've done with what they called summer sloops and Mercer spheres, is it? I quite like how they were explaining that they'd use that. I mean, again, I like saying on other things, I'm quite interested in the story side of it as well. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and most people I don't think are interested, but I really kind of want to play it to find out what that's all about, you know. I think I was saying before, I really like the humour in the game as well, and I was sort of a bit worried that, you know, because it's like Project Save the Earth or something, I can't remember what they called it, but I was a bit worried they'd gone all serious with it and kind of lost that, but fingers crossed it is still a bit ironic and silly, and, you know. It's like this, there's a lot of humour in this, you know, but well, yeah, we shall see. I'm trying to think what else I need, and I can't think of anything else. At some point I will set up logistics, maybe. I guess bacons. Do we have... I'm pretty sure that I made a small handful. Maybe they're down on here. I don't see them. Let's see if they're in the network somewhere. They're not there, are they? In fact, I wouldn't, because I need gold science. So yeah, we wouldn't have them. Okay, so we just put some prod modules as per normal in. You've all got differently coloured things on and stuff now. It's all a bit confusing for me. Don't think I've ever had that many subs at once. Quite amazing. Just now finding the worms in the territory image. Yeah. Oh yes, I was going to say, yeah. So yeah, they are shown on the map, so you can kind of avoid them, and that's you know, it's talking about the guerrilla mining. That's sort of, you know, that's the technique basically, is look at where the worms are, run in, mine a load of tungsten, and just keep checking the map to see when it notices and comes for you. And then basically, so really we want to be coming that way, don't we? That's annoying. And then basically run away again, you know. Okay. So we kind of need to extend this a bit. This isn't my full set of blueprints, is it? I'm doing it from scratch. That's annoying. Okay. Do I have like a right angle though? I do. It's a big boy. It's a big boy. Because I don't want to go over this iron patch, even though it's quite a small one. I guess I could come across the lake. I keep forgetting I've got cliff explosives. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So we'll come across the lake. Because we need to bring sulfuric acid over, basically. That would hit the iron patch. I can't see what I'm doing on this, so let's go over there quickly. I have no cup of teas. As a red, blue, white-blooded, I reckon I only accept coffee. Hard to spot because everything is orange red. Yeah, that's what I was saying in the thing. That I think again, I guess it's like logical because it's all about danger and stuff like that and safety. But red and green are just so like massively overused in the game that it gets a bit confusing as to what does this being highlighted in red mean? You know, especially now with the logic things doing red and green channels independently. It's like, well, what is that? What, you know, is that green because it's on the green channel, or green because it's good, or green because I've set it to green? Oh, what was that? Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Nora Transpire. That's very kind. So yeah, I think maybe... I think it's probably a longer term solution. I wouldn't suggest they do it now, but I think maybe red and green wire need to be like purple and orange wire or something like that. Orange red. It looks like one is in the bottom left across territory borders. Quite possibly, yeah. I don't know whether they're meant to interact. I don't think they are. I think it's like the, you know, they were saying about the Glaber enemies where, like, you know, the sort of in-game, if you want to think about what's going on type reason for, is that the enemies fight each other. You know, that they are also kind of territorial, you know, they fight different tribes and they don't fight the same tribe and all that sort of stuff, but that's in no way implemented in the game. And it's the same sort of thing, I think. I don't think the worms actually fight each other. But obviously if they're territorial animals, you would expect them to do that. So yeah, maybe they do have a thing where you can, you know, get them to fight each other. You just fight them together and watch the chaos unfold, basically. But so I very much doubt that. Now I've got a new idea for specific tactics for tungsten, at least in the beginning, yeah. I say it is, I mean, yeah, I can't really say anything more than that, but yeah, that is the guerrilla mining that is, Arundel is talking about, is, can't even sneak my way in here. Hello, hi. There's, welcome, hope you're doing well. I mean, you also got to remember, I mean, one of the things and this is the main thing, one of the main things I want to talk about in my, say, more considered thoughts is that the 50% prod thing on the new buildings, so which you know about, you know, that's in the Friday Facts, it's not a new thing, that's not a surprise, but actually, like, experiencing it, if you see what I mean, and actually, like, building things in these machines with 50% prod bonus is just, it's almost broken. You know, it's almost like, because one of the key things with them is they let you build things that you can't currently build with the 50% prod bonus. So, you know, look at the Friday Facts and see what recipes they do, but they basically get this enormous productivity bonus for things that at the moment you can't get any prod bonus on. And that includes the buildings themselves. Each of the new buildings, well, the new manufacturing buildings, obviously not the mining drill, can build itself. So in other words, when you build, without putting any new modules in or anything like that, when you build a foundry, in a foundry, if you build 2 foundries, you get a 3rd foundry. I mean, that's just enormous. It's just like, I say, it almost feels broken. And it's what Trooper was kind of referring to about the whole printing resources, because you get obviously free stuff out of the lava effectively, but then everything you build, you get massive productivity bonuses on. So that's why it sort of doesn't really matter when the worm turns up and flattens all your stuff. You're like, oh, right, so I've got to, you know, I've got to run my foundry for, 10 more seconds, basically, in order to recover all that stuff. It's obviously annoying, you still got to go and rebuild it all and all that. And it disrupts your production chains and blah, blah, blah. But you just get so much free stuff on these new planets that it is kind of nuts, really. Okay. What am I missing? I'm missing enormous amounts of landfill. So apparently I've decided to... And I've not got a single bit of landfill. Okay, we are not making landfill. Why not? Why not? Who has decided not to build landfill? Okay. Just sort of plenty, because it's kind of the end of the line for stone, isn't it? Cool. I only tried the janky mod version of these buildings with janky quality. More foundry food for the worms. Yeah, you got to feed them. I mean, Don't feed them, they might die. Okay, I guess I'll leave that chugging away. I'm amazed I'm not making landfill. But instead, we don't have a radar down here either. Nuts. Okay. Hoping I might be able to... Hopefully that's taken. I can't remember what it does in this version. I can build the end bits before I've got the landfill, basically. Cool. Where's my tank? I can totally see now why the devs had this massive customer drone. I wonder what the limiting factor at different stages of the game will be for rocket launches. Yeah. They are cheap as chips. It is, again, it's another thing where you're like, you can't, I mean, you can be told, right, well, RCUs are being replaced. Because RCUs, the recipe, like the total cost of them, I'm probably wrong on the maths on this, but it's not far off being like low density structures. And a blue circuit is way, way cheaper. You know, it's like super cheap in comparison. So, I thank you for the follow as well, Grey Hill. It's very kind. You're doing well. Yeah, it's just like, you know, again, some of these things, it's difficult to really convey the impact they have. And as I say, you're sort of like, there's an element of you build what you normally build, and then you realise actually it's kind of irrelevant, you know, because you've just got so many more powerful tools in your arsenal. So what we need is a drop-off station for sulfuric acid, with a bit of room for picking up uranium. But we'll do the uranium processing here because we need to make some more pollution to annoy the biters. So. I've been enjoying YouTube videos, VODs, old and new. Oh, good. Glad they've been entertaining. Okay, so I think we just literally have a tank. Just pump the sulfuric acid down, I guess. Nothing too clever. If we do a copy, however, of... In fact, I don't need to do this. I keep doing it, don't I? But I've not got a station. Oh, bum. Have I any plate? Right. So, we need drop off. Put that there. Don't need the thing to fill up. We need to connect it to that. That's in the wrong place. That's going to kill the connection. Nuts. Even again, another thing. When you move buildings now, and this is again, it's been in the Friday Facts, but you move buildings and the wire goes with them. I can't tell you how much of a nice little addition that is, you know. Number of times, as I say, I'm sort of building something and then I realise I need to move it, or I've set up a chain of combinators and, you know, they're all connected together very specifically, and then, say, you want to move them all and tidy them all up, and it's just, you know, so much easier. That's connected there, hopefully. No? There. Cool. Cross that one. Down there. I never really got this mechanic, if I'm honest. I know it's like just adding a little bit of logistic complexity, but it always just felt like a pain, you know. I don't really see a lot of value in having fluid mining. Stick that one round. That. Again, I've forgotten that I can get rid of cliffs. Okay. We need to set this up. Connection for some power. There. Get ourselves a radar. Where's a radar? There's a radar. Okay. I noticed that you went from 300-ish to 450 subs on YouTube. Probably the LAN party. Yeah, that video. What's the phrase people use? It popped off, as it were. So that has now. I think it's. So I think my previous highest was one of the. Which one was it? It might have been the combat one or something like that. Might be the science. You know, the proper speculation videos I did. You know, not actual Friday facts, as it were. Those had my highest views, I think. Or it might have been actually, it might be the one, you know, when they did the retrospective. I can't remember, but it was basically about 2,000 was like my absolute maximum. And that was like after months of, you know, people, you know, being able to watch it. Whereas that LAN party one had that within like a day, basically. It's still not, I mean, you know, I'm nowhere near any of the big YouTubers or anything like that. You know, even the Factorio one sort of thing. But yeah, it was really nice to get that sort of reaction. What I'm particularly pleased about, I mean, you always get, it's always one thing I've never really understood. People are disliking the video, like giving it a thumbs down. And I don't know if it's people thinking that that'll tell the, you know, they don't like the content, which I sound totally fine. I don't care in the sense that people don't like the video. You know, there's bound to be stuff. I mean, there's stuff I end up seeing that, you know, I don't like, as it were, the video, and I don't want to watch again. But I do sometimes wonder, is people think that if they, you know, give it a thumbs down, then that'll stop YouTube, you know, sending them or recommending that content to them. But the algorithm doesn't actually work that way. You actually have to go to the channel and basically say, go to the where it's recommending it to you and say, don't recommend this type of content to me again. Simply giving it a thumbs down doesn't do that. Of course, it could just be that they don't like me, which is fine. But yeah, so in terms of the comments and stuff, it's been incredibly positive. You know, there wasn't anybody. I was a bit worried people might be like, well, why did you get that? Why did you let that idiot come to, you know, to the play the game sort of thing? But yeah, people have been very nice about it. It's been very, very good. I'm still hoping for a secret quality of life update that basically does what the recursive blueprint mod can do. I have to confess, I'm not hugely familiar with that one, but that's the one where blueprints can build blueprints, isn't it? Where it can lay them down. I mean, they might put something like that in. You know, there might be something like that in there. But what I would say is that remote view is immense, basically. So I think a lot of what you might regard as pain points are kind of cured by remote view, and particularly if you combine that with the fact that roboports now have a little radar. One of the things I was doing, I think I mentioned pretty clearly in the actual blog post about how I kind of got a bit stuck on Nalvis on the second day, basically fixing things and, you know, doing stuff that was more like busy work, you know, and like filling in resources and that sort of thing. or, you know, increasing resources and all that sort of stuff. And when I'd decided to abandon ship and go to Falgora, I ended up using remote view a heck of a lot, because there were still combat things that needed, you know, fixing. So our walls, you know, were getting a lot of attacks from biters, and so, you know, you needed to resupply the ammo, maybe put down some more turrets, maybe you know, set up a something more complicated. And so what I was doing remotely was extending the Roboport network. And now in this version, that's painful, because every time you get to a certain relatively short distance, so if I start putting, you know, Roboports here, I don't think I've got one, have I? But if I was putting Roboports along this railway line, we get to here, and suddenly I've got to put a radar in as well. So the bots, I've got to bring a radar all the way over here. But a Roboport now has a radar coverage. So you can literally plop down 2 of them, they build them. You plop down 2 of them, they build them. You plop down 2 of them, they build them. And so we went from having no, like, radar coverage at all, or no, you know, no automated defences at all, essentially, you know, with people manually going and filling boxes, to having a completely bot-covered walls within, what, sort of 20 minutes. And I did that all remotely from a different planet. It's huge, basically. And as I say, it's one thing you know about. So any of those sorts of jobs that you've, you know, found yourself running around doing, get Roboports over there, and, you know, you can do it all remotely. And again, it's another thing where I knew all that. You know, I knew that. I'd read it in the Friday Facts, but actually experiencing it, actually doing it, was a very, very different, you know, different proposition, basically. It sort of frees you up, I guess, is one of the ways of putting it. You're sort of like, where at the moment you might not do something because you've got to go over there and do it, or you've got to, as I say, set up a million Roboports, which also need radar coverage, which was also, you know, a load of work to do. Now you can just do it because, you know, it's easy to do. And I just want to build a fusion plant in Spain. But over my place, I'll take a month at least. I was so happy that when they announced fusion, I still have my hopes up for a railgun type thing. Interesting. Yeah, basically automated blueprints would be cool for automated griddle mining. You talk about uranium processing design. Do you mean this? I mean, this isn't really a design. This is just literally me. So all I'm doing, I'm going to run it with some prop modules in until I've got enough U230, whichever it is, 35, 235, until it in the chests. And so these are just literally parallel, you know, because these take ages to run, and especially with prod modules in. What's the processing time on? I can never remember. I can't do that on this. What's the time? 12 seconds. So it takes ages. So just having a row of them is worth. In fact, I probably need some more. It might, you know, might stick them on the other side. But it's not intended to be. You know, this isn't a proper solution. Eventually, they'll do pick up with bots, and we'll have a train here that, you know, picks up both things and what have you. But this is just literally to get enough uranium to make it worthwhile doing nuclear. Oh, well, worthwhile doing Covarex and nuclear. Cool. So, hopefully, we've got some landfill made. I don't think I put the chests high enough, did I? Because we do need to hook this up with. I just realised I'm going to need a lot of landfill. In terms of automated defences, I would also love enemy detectors, and I could depower my lasers for a while. That'd be interesting. I say there are lots of buildings can now be hooked up. Lots of buildings. I mean, basically all buildings could be hooked up before, but, you know, like power things, there's more hookups basically to the circuit networks. So, I mean, I can't really comment on that one because I wouldn't know if you'd be able to do that. But yeah, things like turning reactors off and on is just child's play now. if that's something you want to do, you know, if that's something you need to do. My top 3 2.0 changes. 3 roboports having a radar. Yeah, that is an immense. Elevated rails. I think it's 2.0. Elevated rails are part of the expansion, as far as I'm aware. They're not in 2.0. Roboports having radars would be in 2.0. Fluids being fun rather than accurate. I mean, they weren't accurate before, but yeah, the change to fluids is interesting. It does make them... I guess, you know, people were flagging, oh, I'm a bit worried about this and worried about that. I would say probably all of those are true. But from my perspective, my personal viewpoint on it is I just don't care that it's, you know, inaccurate and what have you. It was never fun before. And so now that it just works, that's all I want out of it, you know. I say it does just work. I've not had a single fluid connection where it's sat there doing things that I don't understand, you know. Cool, so let's grab all that stone as well and see if I can hand make a couple of bits. We're going to need way more than that, I think. Should have set that much higher. Is that all the stone I've got? I bet I've run out of the patch, basically, haven't I? Yeah. Let's see if we can fiddle a bit more extra stuff out of this. I tend to try and avoid doing it because you can obviously filter with things, filter inserters and you know, balancers have filters. I tend to avoid doing that because I always find it ends up log jamming. You know, like we're not really using coal at the moment, so if I was filtering out the coal, it would get blocked up and then stone would just stop. So I tend to prefer just to try and avoid, you know, the stone. Bringing in coal from the original mining, if at all possible. Let's put that maybe. I think that avoids the stone. Put that there. Could maybe put some speeds in them. I think I might put prod in as well. Okay. So that's a tiny bit of extra stone, but really we're running out, aren't we? Ah, another one. Oops. Nice, we're just curious about your thoughts behind that setup. Yeah, so it was just literally, you know, chuck some uranium into it and get some stuff in chests, and then we can do a proper thing, you know, at some point. Now, do we have any other spare stone in any boxes over here? Don't see any. Got science packs, we could put them to use at some point. Cool. Okay. $188. That's annoying. I guess for the time... Oh, I didn't get any more cliff explosive, did I? In case I'll need to... For the time being, we could send, you know, run a power, you know, like an extra rail around there, and then I'll get enough stuff to do. And of course, yeah, I can drive over these and get some extra stone, can't I, in this? Five extra bits. Okay. Right. Oh. And I can't pick it up in this either. Nope. Okay. We do have a stone station here with no trains doing anything. But then we'd have to figure a route out there, I think. I mean, ultimately, because I'm kind of intending this to stay, you know, as being like our build everything area. Obviously, we'll do a proper production on belts and, you know, to get red belts and that sort of thing. But, you know, it's perfectly fine, I think, as what it is. So we do ultimately need to bring trains in, is the point. And we'll probably bring them in, do a little spur there, maybe. Ironically, this would be a great place to do a spur. You know, to have the trains going up here, not least of all because we would probably end up putting our nuclear power, you know, in one of these lakes, maybe. I'm just trying to think my way through that, basically. I think I'll just go do something else, and then by the time I do, I'm sure it will have made enough landfill. So how about we go and work on a green circuits build, maybe? Let's do that then. The fluid stuff was such a hassle. I played with plutonium energy, and loved to build funky oversized reactors, and the fluid stuff took me hours of head scratching and good luck. Yeah. Gonna luck a bit. Thanks for the stream and amazing Friday videos. No worries. Glad you enjoy them. So I mean, you know, so it's always lovely to have the feedback and stuff. I never want to sound like ungrateful for it, as it were. But the thing with particularly the Friday Facts videos, I probably did be doing them anyway. You know, if literally I was just talking to myself all the time, which obviously what I started out doing. But I love doing those videos. They're really great fun for me. Just prattling on, as Senna said as well, gives me a chance to talk about, you know, worm muscles and all sorts of weird bits of knowledge that I've acquired. So yeah, I do them anyway. But I say it's always really nice to know that people do enjoy them. So thank you for that. Make it a T-junction, integrate the two-way rail for oil into two-track two-way. So this one here, yeah, it's probably a good idea. Yeah, because I could hook up a proper oil station there and feed it in here, couldn't I? Maybe have it there, because it could pull all of that up, basically. Have a little T there, maybe. But say it's probably better down here. And I have something up, going up that way, maybe? Or do you just coming off there? But yeah, integrate that in there, combine that, and then this drop-off would probably be separate still. Because I think, did I set it up as an oil? Yeah, so even though it is a drop-off station, it does have its like own personal supply, as it were. Yeah, that's all for later. What we're going to do, we're going to look at a green circuits build. And for that we would need more machines, I suspect. So we have completely come in the wrong direction. What are we going to need? We're going to need some belts. We're going to need trains. Do. What I'm thinking, to be honest with you, is maybe we make red circuits for blue science here, and then we have a separate thing for when we need them. So if we ship in green circuits, where's the rest be? There we go. Copper we've obviously already got, and we could make the green circuits locally, couldn't we? So if we just bring plastic in and do a red circuits build here, then we can get blue science back up and running. And then we can do these things here, and in particular, unlock gold and purple. So I think if we start that, get that queued up as well, and then do both of those, because they're really cheap as well. But we also would need nuclear power and things like that. We can come back to those later. Bacons as well. Got to get your bacons. Cool. Okay, yeah, let's do that then. So what we actually want is the plastic drop-off station that we were building before. Going to do before anyway. So we will fill this in. But so we are going to need a proper green circuits production at the very least. Because we'll probably want to drop that off at the other builds, gold in particular. Purple there. And then working up to there, I guess. And then change the name. So that needs to be drop off. Cool. And then we've got some circuit logic. What are you? You're a drop off. I'll have to change the name, unfortunately. Doot. Set that to be plastic. And they hold 4,000. Cool. Setting. Ooh. Oh, okay. I've not. I did that one, have I? There we go. Always a bit weird that that one doesn't make any noise when you do a overlay of that. Wait, is that right? It is, which means that one's wrong, isn't it? Because that's biased to the wrong side. How have I managed to do that? I guess it was me flipping things around. Yeah, because I've lined it up with that. That's annoying. Inserters don't insert on the same side. Is that right? Because they always put on the right, don't they? I think. It says, and Ollie corrects me. Oops. Right, so this will give us plastic. We need to get this train moving. Drop off. Empty. Cool. Right, let us red circuit. I think I've been putting like a regular power pole type distance between the builds. So, how do we want to do this? Because 6-second craft time. Oh. That's what I was going to say. I guess that's about the video. Sorry, I didn't see that one. But Yeah, someone say bacon. Does it feel clunky switching back to playing 1.1? It feels weird. I don't know about clunky, but there are lots of quality of life improvements, that have not been covered, but also the ones that have been covered. It's surprising how much benefit, how much better they are in a sense. So it does feel a bit sort of, there's a lot of, I've gotten used, I've literally played it, tens of hours? And it is in the territory of, I miss things that are in it on the quality of life front, because they are just, things. But there's also that, I can't remember if I said it earlier, but that thing of, even with the SpaceX shortcuts, I've sort of, in a sense, learned them, and I try and do them in this. So there is that side to it as well, that it's just, getting into the habit is not all that difficult in a sense. But yeah, I would say it's noticeable. I mean, I think they've literally said this, haven't they, in the Friday Effects, that they found it where it's like, they can't go back, as it were. I don't find it that extreme, but there are things where you just miss them so much in a sense. Why have I put those in that way round? Because they're not even coming like that. This is the copper coming in here. What an idiot. And then I put on. Yeah, no, that needs to go that way. So the red circuit's coming out that way, going in that way. I don't know. Let's just whack a few on, really. How many would I actually need? Ignoring prod bonus. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 for some reason. Oh, because of the... Okay. Crafting time. So 2, 12 gets me 1 a second, I think. Is that right? Doing maths. It tells you in the new game. Tells you what you're going to get. I mean, that is a perfect example. It's like... You just hover over the machine and it tells you what you're actually going to get out of it, and then you can just do your maths nice and easy. But here you've got to clunk your way through recipes and blah, 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 blah. So, I would need, if I'm doing enough to produce 1 a second, then I would need 1.5 red circuits a second. And they take, we want some prods in, I guess, but they take 6 seconds each. So if we try and make 6 machines worth, let's just do 8 because we've got the prod on. And that should feed us enough red circuits to just do the blue build. Blue science build, I think. We will see what actually happens. Did I have... I do some lights on. We need... Oops, input of circuits. Output of... Not circuits. I know what I mean. I know what I mean. Cool. In fact, actually, let's just take one in case I need to extend it. Right, so we then want green circuits, and have I done the maths on that? No, we need 4 copper cables, so we're okay. But we want kind of a half and half lane, I guess. How are we doing? We do it sort of maybe there. And we can have that come that way. Should probably put some prods in there. So these are the red circuits, but purely for the blue science build. And they need to connect here. So if we put a little cheeky bit of spaghetti there. Again, I'm looking for the green, you've hit perfect length thing. So there. That and then. Cool. Oops. Don't know why that built twice. That. They're not in the same position, are they? There we go. Cool. So what needed to go up there? Oh, that's my... Yeah, it needs to jank over that. I guess probably right with regular ones to be honest with you. So this will be green circuits when they're eventually here. Split that, and that needs to be plastic. Okay. This would have been better on the other side, wouldn't it? Oh well. Oh well. That. So we need an equivalent janky belt there. Boop, boop. And then across there. Put that in the wrong place, haven't I? Because that needs to be the green circuit. The finest spaghetti. Okay, so if that's plastic, and this is plastic too. Plastic. Fantastic. So, simple matter. I guess I extended these because I was assuming I was going to build other stuff. You know, maybe I can build some of the purple stuff here and that, but I think I've also mentally abandoned that idea. There you go. Wonderful trooperism. I can imagine something like going back to 0.15. Oh yeah, you also got new inventory item noises. Yeah. Oh god, I've forgotten about that. The ratio of red circuits to copper wire assembler. Oops, is 6:1. Without prod, yeah. Yeah, I've overkilled that really, haven't I? In fact, how are we doing on power? That's a question. Okay. So it doesn't look like accumulators are running, you know, even at max capacity, because it's not ratioed or anything like that. We've got a lot of sort of slack there. Cool, okay. I do just want to check. How much have we built here? Oh, I can't click on it, can I? 213. Yeah, okay. It's going to be a while before they finish then. Okay. So, just, I mean, do I just want to stick a load in? Not sure I can be fussed on doing the maths because we don't actually need that many, I don't think. So it'd be 2 every 6 seconds, 1 every 3 seconds, which is just, you know, way less than it needs. So we'll just stick in some green circuit builds. Let's put one there. And then boop, boop. Oops. Oh. It's going to be exactly in the way, isn't it? I moved it. I should not have moved it. Should learn my lesson. How do I want to do this? Let's do a single line there, and then we'll have a output there, I think. Yeah. And let's grab that. So it's obviously the actual circuit. Oops, this is copper wire. And then that needs to go that way. This is the iron plate. That. Don't know why I didn't do that with splitter, but there you go. That was probably enough. That's coming. Oh, I've run out. Cool. Yeah, I'll do. Lighting. These aren't going to build anything if they don't have access to resources, do they? Cool. Is blue science running yet? No. Here we go. I could go and grab them science packs as well. How about I have a fiddle about with these, and we'll just make sure all our machines work, and that I've not hooked anything up backwards or anything like that. Let it all chug through. Skirters. Minimum amounts of gas, power poles, pipes and pipes. Oh, I don't have thingies yet, do I? substations. Tanks and logisticals. What else? Oh, I guess I could set the filter on those, even though I haven't actually got them. But there you go. So that would be, what should we call it? And then 1, 2, 3. So then we go robobots, chests. Make sure we've always got construction bots, other chests. To machines. Then we got you. Did I set that? I did not. My dudes. Intermediates we'll worry about later, but let's make sure we've always got plenty of ammunition. Even though I don't think I'm making most of those, but there you go. That. What else we want? We'll make sure we always have walls. I guess I could put turrets on preemptively. Boop. Boop. Radar. Very much looking forward to being able to save my personal logistic press setup. Yeah, indeed. Getting rid of anything I haven't requested. It's just a single click that you do. It is, yeah. Trash not requested is the thing. And you can just dump entire sections of your inventory just as a click of a button and request a whole new load of things. I say the logistics groups things is just awesome. It's just really, really useful, and it's both a quality of life thing and a sort of a game changer type thing. You know, improves how you play, etc., etc. Makes your life nice and easy. And I'm all for an easy life. Okay. We've got blue science chugging away, and we have blue science happening. Excellent. Excellent. I guess I've forgotten a way to... Oh, let's just leave power piles, you know, as and when we get them. Don't really need centrifuges unless we're doing them, and again, I don't know that we're going to be doing any oil production-y things, so we could get rid of that. But now, there's requests, put them in the dump chest. I think actually if I change that, so we have grey, oops, blue, green. We have a setup for both of those, but we're not going to request any. That would be the green one. What was I thinking of then? I guess we could have power set to go. What I have forgotten is repair packs. Cool. Part of the reason I haven't set these is because, you know, the bots just aren't really capable of... I think I've only done like one robot speed, so yeah. So I put lots of turrets in, I did. Let's give ourselves a nice little coverage. So there. Have they got 50 in? They have, cracking. Just put it there, because my entire southern flank is completely undefended, so it's worth having these just in for now. Oh. Done our maths wrong. Okay. Stick them in. Cool. Did I set that on 200 or 400? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Did you put rail there? Cool. let us head back to base. Thinking we'll probably grab the science packs as well and just sort of chuck them in the labs. But I've got cannon shells, pump jacks. Oh, I've got trains in there. Oh, I was going to add some more solar. Did I do that? I don't think I did I? Doesn't look like we need it at the moment. Yes, so let's see if we can finish that landfill rail type situation. See how much we've got. I did all of that, and then landfill I've not restored. How about put the landfill there? And just whack it up and see. Oops! I did it again. I don't think I've got any. Oh! No, that was the pipe. I can make one. Cool. That's one of my biggest attrition sources. Just driving over things. So I guess I should probably ask. I didn't really say, but I mean, what do people think of the Wormy Boy? Are you looking forward to working out strategies for dealing with it, or you do your best to avoid it? Say, it's an interesting design concept at the very least, I think. Don't move that a little bit further up. I built a snake mall. Yes, I did. Snack mall, indeed. I was hoping to take it all the way into there. I mean, probably go around in weird directions and stuff, but I don't know, sort of running out of things to do. I'm also getting to the point where, like modules and stuff, I'd end up replacing them with other builds sort of thing, so I'd make, like I've got a gap here and stuff like that, so I could actually start reusing things. But yeah, and also starts getting impractical because it's like too many things to add in, basically, as in resource, recipes to have on the belts. Imagine you yelling at Demolisher, is that all you muster various damage to the base of base damage of yours? Yeah. It gives a lot more reasons for doing buffs, I think, because it really is all about the DPS, damage per second. It's really, that's like the key thing. I should have set that to 0, not requested them. I don't think I've set proper. No, I haven't put logics on these. I have to do that at some point as well. How many landfills have you brought me? You've not brought me any. 400-ish in stock. Okay. Do I wait for them to fill me up? What are we missing? Things I don't really care about, so I don't actually care if you bring me them. Oh, I didn't put... Do we have lasers? No, we've not even done laser research. Wow. Okay. Wow. Cool. I didn't put combinators and stuff on the list, did I? Know? Okay. What are we missing? We're missing ammo. Lots of. And belt. Okay. Let's grab Science packs. Why have you put them all in random chest spots? I thought you were meant to be organised. We will go and get these ourselves. I think we might give this a bit more of a infinite stack thing, because I suspect we're going to need to build a proper wall. I'm full up, aren't I? I am filled it up. I do like that, because obviously Arundel's doing a lot of the designy things. I kind of like that he's leaning into the whole "we're an absolute monster" thing. Because there's always been I mentioned about the humour, it's quite dark humour really in this, but there is that whole thing. I mean, you know, this planet is not our planet. You know, we crash land on it, and then you know, the biters are just defending their land, you know, their territory, as it were. And the same with a lot of these new enemies, where it's like, you know, it's a bit more explicit, I suppose, is the point. In where's the trainman? There's the trainman. In the thing where it's like, you know, you are going out there and you are killing the demolishers in order to take their land, basically. So it's all a bit sort of more, a bit more overt than it kind of used to be. But we are the monster. Monster, it's called liberation. Indeed. Got to bring freedom to the locals. They've never had it so good. I think I'm going to just ever so slightly run out of landfill, especially if I build the blooming thing in the wrong place. See, super force build. You see, another amazing quality of life thing. Your super force build. Oh, bum. Plus, you can mine landfill. You can mine landfill. Imagine. Imagine. Done it again. Got the wrong place. Boop. Nearly there. Nearly crunching some uraniums. And I've run out of rail because I didn't properly check. Of course. Of course I've run out of rail. Of course. And I've still not built that in the right place. I can confirm, however, massive leak. Engineer still doesn't know how to dig a hole. So, you know. Okay, so we need more rail because I didn't properly set that. So let's put that onto 200. Let's go and chuck. It should be doing something there. Oh no, it won't be because it's not got. I didn't put a roboport on it either. Oh no, yeah, we have got roboports. Okay, so let's just pop in kind of roboport just to make it stop blinking. Doesn't look like all the power's connected because one of them's flashing. Why is that? Oh, you've just not got a power pump. Okay. We can fix that. Oh, and I'm not actually making stations, am I? Can I hand build some? Oh, maybe I am. because I don't remember making 9 of them. Okay, so we need the station, we need more rail. Let's go and get... Oh, what about cliff explosive? Clifton explosive. Clifton explosive. It's our land. Soviet Manthan plays. Exactly. Exactly. We're all the same, therefore we should all be under the control of one. I wonder if they'll change anything regarding supplying space platforms with ammo, etc. I heard people say that one complaint was that you didn't really need to produce ammo on platforms because it's so easy, cheap to supply uranium ammo to them. I don't know about uranium ammo, that's still pretty expensive to do. The sort of... I'm pretty sure it was Troopin that said that in his video, but the sort of... the conundrum of it, basically, is that they've made rockets super cheap, and they want you to build a factory that can absolutely hammer out rockets, you know, that's what they're sort of, you know, gearing it towards. And therefore, things like ammo, where they're also intending or hoping that you'll build them on a platform and it'll be self-sustaining and what have you, well, if you make it so that rockets are super cheap and ammo is just insanely easy to produce on Nalvis, then it's perfectly expected that people are just going to send it up via rocket. And so you then got a but I don't want it to be done that way type of thing going on, or that's not what we're intending situation. You know, they want you to use you know, build it there, and you know, there are you know, the resources basically in the asteroids, as you know, from, you know, you just need iron basically to make regular ammo, and as you've seen, there are the iron asteroids, so it's pretty available, and that's why you've got the grabber arms and all that sort of stuff. That's what they've geared it towards, but it's just too cheap to send it up by rockets basically. So so yeah, I think they will change that, but exactly how, I don't know. But yeah, I think they, you know, want to encourage you to make self-sufficient platforms essentially. I preemptively missed the blueprinting of blueprinted landfill. You can still do it. You can still do it. There's nothing stopping you. It's just that Supervorce build does it for you basically. So it's like you don't need to bother. Wondering if the Tesla turret arcs to each segment of a demolisher. I don't know. I don't even know whether it does any damage on it, to be honest with you. I've literally only seen a handful of things being used in order to fight them. But say, it might be. I mean, I don't know how good the Tesla turret is as just a weapon system, you know, because I don't think I saw anyone playing with one. I literally pushed for it on Fargora, you know, I pushed to get it. And so I literally had it at the end, but then we finished and we went, you know, we did the whole, you know, finishing off thing basically. So, you know, we didn't really use it. It was really fun. I mean, it's what they said in, why it had sort of stayed in the game, is that the hand, you know, the gun version is really fun. It's like, I mean, I think it's very, very similar to the SpaceX one, you know, so people kind of, if they've used it there, they've experienced a very similar sort of thing. But it was really fun, you know, playing with that, messing about with it, zapping the bugs, and you know, they all just stand still for a moment. It's quite funny. But yeah, that was quite fun to say. But apart from that, I don't know of anyone else that actually built one. And I'm sure people have since, I think. But so I think I might have been the only one who built a Tesla turret at the thing, at the event, you know. But I don't know, because electric damage is so underused at the moment. I don't really know what. You know, do bugs have resistance to it? Because the only thing that really uses it is the discharge defense, which I've never really bothered with, and the whichever it's called, destroyer capsule. I can't remember which one it is. And they're such a faff to produce. I'd never really bothered. In theory, we should... No, we shouldn't, because we don't have a thing there. So, yeah, so... I say, it's very difficult to know how useful a lot of the new things are. I mean, I'm sure the answer is very useful. That was red, wasn't it? Which is worrying. Oh no, I haven't built the last bit of the ramp. But yeah, it's very, very difficult to comment on it because I just haven't encountered, haven't used them, haven't tried them. It could turn out that the Tesla turret is the most useful thing about, for demolishers, because if it makes them pause as well, if it makes them do a little stop, that would be quite useful, I think, for helping to dodge the attacks. But maybe it has no effect on them whatsoever. It's like I was under the impression that lasers do no damage at all to them, but that may just have been that whole thing of it didn't really present, whether it was doing an effect very well. And maybe they are actually doing damage. You just can't sort of tell at the moment. So yeah, there's all sorts of stuff like that where, and this is coming back to the thing of, it is a work in progress. They are still putting the final touches and little tweaks and improvements and changing the numbers and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's going to be things that, they intend for people to use or not use, and they're only really going to find them out as they're kind of doing it. Why did you leave straight away? Did you empty? Did you really empty that quickly? Yes, you did. Crikey. But yeah, with this one, we need to turn it off, basically, I think, don't we? Or we need to do something otherwise with the logic. How much do we want? I guess we always want it to have a train's worth. And a train is 25,000, isn't it? Not 2,000. So we do want it to have... No, 2,500, isn't it? 2,500. Got my numbers wrong. Input 2.5. 12 and what? 12. Ah, train. Output signals -8. Crikey. No, a train carries 25, doesn't it? But do I want it to set lower than that? Or higher than that? Something like that. Just getting 24k in. It won't be able to fill. Yeah, because of the fluid problems, it won't be able to fill it. So, how do I do that in this system? Maybe I just set this to 20,000? What number do you do now? Train limit 1 of 0. Yeah, okay. So that's telling it. Cool. Because what I don't really want it to do is sit here forever. So I do think we need a time limit on that one. Cool. Missed out a power pole. Okay. So yeah, I think we can afford quite a few more of these. So we will pop them on. Flip them over. Get them built. Wondering if the Tesla turret, yeah, of course that could, because that could stack up damage. Yeah, that'd be interesting. If that's a really easy way of doing it. I say, I wouldn't be surprised if, if it does have some effect, that using the hand version would be really cool, because then you could lay out, some static defenses, I guess, and just basically use that stopping thing to get it to pause, and more damage, and then it moves a bit and you pause it again. So you're maybe not doing electric damage as such, not doing too much of that, but you are causing it to pause and everything else can shoot at it. Don't know. Say I've not really combated them, and I know, as I say, in the event a lot of people were relatively low tech, so they didn't have a lot of the really cool toys. So I mean, I couldn't even tell you whether nukes are a really good thing to do on it. I mean, I would assume so, but I don't think anyone got that far. I like that poison capsules can actually do some real damage if it's hitting 10 segments. That's 80 damage a second per capsule, which is not bad. And of course, being long, presumably as it sits in a poison cloud, it sort of ramps up the amount of damage that a poison cloud would do. Reminds me that one way to buff or nerf facets of a game is rather than change the numbers, to change the environment. Okay. Flamethrowers seem bad pentapods. Flamethrowers seem bad for pentapods, and presumably the Demolisher has high fire resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if it's got 100%. If I was doing it, I would set that to 100% resistance, because it feels like that would be the damage type it wouldn't do. It's like I would also set it to 100% laser, or maybe 90% laser resistance, just from a point of view of it's got this hard shell on it, so it just bounces off basically. But I think you're probably getting into that's me making it too hard territory. So again, I couldn't tell you about resistances and stuff, even if I knew something. I mean, I wouldn't tell you even if I knew, but I do not know, so I can't comment at all. Imagine next Monday, then it'll only be 2 weeks left until there's 1 week left. I'll take your word for that. Yeah, I bet it's immune or has at least super high resistance to heat, considering it just walks over lava. Exactly, a bit weird for it to be massively damaged by a bit of fire if it can just go for a wander across a massive lava patch. I imagine that flamethrowers are good only for Nalvis and Aquila, given that bug ice type is weak to fire. Cool. So we are missing a few of these inserters. Dooby. Have we got? We have not got any. Oh, we got 2. We've chunked out 2. Cool. So we'll let them chug away. We need to check power. Yeah, we are starting to use our steam again. Okay, so we did have all these solar panels, so we can go and put some more stuff in. I think I could probably double that up without too much problem. But here's probably going to be quite a good space to put a thing. Again, this is not mathed out in any way. I've not actually... I'm going to flip it so it looks a bit more aesthetically aesthetic. But we will go and get that built. And how did we all feel about Brainbug going? That was a bit of a shock to discover that, I must say. I was sort of I was kind of really looking forward to seeing how that one worked. And obviously it was one of the earliest teasers, and then it's not actually in the in the game basically. So as I said in my Friday Facts video, I did fully understand when they were explaining why it had gone. It did make sense of like having something, yet another problem, when all you really want to do is get to the victory screen, and then this brain bug turns up and starts causing you all sorts of problems. I kind of got that, but I say it was a bit of a shame really to discover that wasn't in there, because it's such a cool, weird, horrible design. I missed the jellyfish being one, being gone. I was a, it was a cool design, very Mother Brain inspired. Yeah, I was surprised, but I hardly knew him. He looked cool. Exactly. I mean, we don't really know what he did, so he may have been a complete pain or something, you know. But yeah. Knowing me, once I got a good grip on Space Age, I'm going to crank all the enemies to max difficulty, then add enemies to Aquilo if it didn't have them. It will be interesting to see what it lets people do with enemies, I think, because you could do some quite interesting things, I think. But it all depends on what the modding API lets people do. Because you could literally even just let's call it simple. I know some of the mods aren't simple even though they sound it, but you could put the worms on Alvis, or you could put them on Folgora, or you just literally shift them around, So it's whether they kind of let you do that sort of thing, really. Wow, we've been chugging through the old science, haven't we? That's good. Purple and gold. Very nearly. I didn't put the things in the slot, did I? So, if we want lasers, we need to research lasers. So we'll do that. And what else? Can't do that yet. Could. Yeah, always seems very expensive, that. So if we have lasers, so we could do PLDs. Would we be able to do shields? Like Mark II, yes, Mark II shields. Mark II batteries? Or have I already got them? Yeah, I've already got them. That's gold. That's gold, okay. Cool. Yeah, because they're gold sciences. I guess. Yeah. That all requires purple, doesn't it? DDD. I mean, we could do some robot following counting things. Have I been using the robots in this? I get my games blurred together. Which playthroughs I'm doing when and where. I've been messing about with bots in... No, I'm not building them at all here, am I? Okay. Okay. Furnaces. Let's go start building some furnaces. Because we have everything on the mall, I think. That. Access to them. Oh, I can't set the recipe, can I? So those, and then also steel. Boop boop. That. Just ready to go, but I can't actually do it yet. Okay, so that's good. We've then got the purple science. Laser's not far off, so let's extend this down. I don't think we have batteries and stuff, do we? I think we're making tiny amounts over here, so we might be able to sneak a little laser production in. Might work here. Cool. Want to go to Gleba first just to try it. Most interested in Falgora though. You've all been deciding where you want to go first. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't really comment, I guess. I say I'll probably do a, like my reactions on, certainly I've been putting notes down rather than writing the script for it, but it'll mostly focus, my next video on about the LAN and what I've done it'll really be still, what I experienced at the LAN, because that's the area I got the most thing. And obviously, as I've said, I went to Falgora, so yeah, I as a spoiler for that, I found it really fun. The mechanic of recycling things is just really, really interesting. It's absolutely messes with your head. It's like I don't know, almost don't know how to say it, but it's like sort of completely backwards, but in a really, really fun way. And it also feels like the sort of like puzzle type challenge where all sorts of solutions are viable. You can do it with belts, you can do it with bots, you can do it with circuit controls, and that they all pretty much, work basically. Well, they should do. Obviously, I haven't tested anything, but I mean, what I built was belt based, because I think I said I was basically bootstrapping on the planet. Because there just wasn't the production on Nalvis to send things from there. As it happens, the person who joined me eventually did, they were kind of running the logistics for the, for all that, for the, for orders that were people making. And eventually we did start getting some stuff through, like substations and things like that. But yeah, initially it was very much me doing stuff by hand to work out how all the recipes worked. And then bootstrapping belts and kind of going from there. But it was really fun. One of the weird things I did that, I don't know, it was a strange thing, was that, so obviously you can use the elevated rails to move things between the plateaus, as you know, from the Friday Facts. And you're therefore doing a lot of point-to-point trains on Falgora, just because obviously although they're plateaus, they're basically just cliffs. So effectively, just you want to hop over them if you want to get to the next plateau. And I ended up crossing two of them over, and in my head, the like elevated rails didn't interact, in a sense, in that, obviously if you have, two bits of rail crossing, and you've got trains going back and forth on either one, you've got to signal it, otherwise they're going to crash into each other. But in my head, the elevated rails were separate, and that even though, and they were, up in the air, even though I was crossing two of them over, they weren't interacting, or I thought they weren't going to interact. And so we just ended up with loads of trains crashing into each other, because I was like, oh, I need to signal them. Because they do literally, they just cross like a normal rail. But in my head, I think they were at different heights. That was kind of how I was thinking of them. But yeah, that was a very weird, sort of thing that I just, was like, wait, they're proper railways? Right, yes, let's chuck these in. Oh, I didn't put prop modules in here. Ooh. Crikey. Did I have them all? No, I did. But only 50. Okay. Cool. What was I going to do next? I suppose I need to keep extending the power. How many do we actually need? Loads. Is the answer, I would guess. Don't have any radars on these. Let's pop a radar. Cool. So how many do we need? We need... I've not got a ghost. Yes, I have. Give or take 250, 250. So it's probably more like 300 and 250. So we would need 300, 250. Not that I'm expecting the bots will actually deliver that because they're so slow, but just a reminder for me. Hello, Ultimate Plays. How you doing? I don't think I'll manage to decide until the second I press a button. Gleba will be a clear candidate if I want to potentially get disappointed and waste some time, because it seems harder and not really helpful to the other planets as a second planet. I say, I think some of it has gotten a little blown out of proportion. It's not like that's a bad choice. That's not what it is. It's just that I suppose maybe in a sense it is harder. It's a little tougher as your first planet, but more because, again, of what it gives you. It's not really... I don't think it's harder as a mechanic. The pentapods are tough. You know, they are a tough fight. But, you know, a bit like... They're like halfway between the Demolisher and biters in that they will attack you. But they're only really interested in the fruit, you know. So they won't come and just trash your base. And obviously a Demolisher won't unless you build in its territory, and biters will just come and, you know, give you a hard time no matter what sort of thing. So it's sort of a bit halfway between them, but they're really tough. It's like a tough fight, but you can pretty much avoid them. They don't, you know, don't have a problem. You know, don't have a specific, you know, thing that makes them... I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but yeah, that, you know, they are a tough enemy, but Demolishers are a tough enemy, you know. There's a bit more of a, if you want to go and fight them, then you can fight them in for the new enemies, I would say. Everything great? Good. I'll probably do Glebe a second. Cool monsters, spoilage seems fun, and the rocket turret to be helpful on volcanoes for rapid expansion. I wonder if a tank will get instigated in a chicken race versus a Demolisher. Yeah, I don't really know how viable other vehicles are, but you know, vehicles are on other planets. I assume they're still very, you know, useful tools, basically. Certainly as mobile chests at the very least. But as a part of it, because you're doing a lot of remote stuff, you've got to think about it in that terms, and so you probably want bots set up and things like that. But yeah, okay, so we needed to actually set this recipe because we can't do it remotely. And we want to say our first little loggy connection. Set that to 100 so we can get some actual production on the go. Cool. Cool. I'm going to try and set up some lasers. I mean, you already know that Spidertron's on a later planet, so I say that being one of the useful tools is a little bit more out of reach type of thing. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for lasers, and they're there, and they are steel batteries and green circuits. So, do we want to do a little cheeky bit of spaghetti Lasers. Okay. Push them. 100. Set the filter. Oop. Oh, we don't have power anyway. Oh, well, yes we do. So do one there. One there. Off we go. Super. Cool. Let's go and go as much as we can. Someone's left the tank down there. There's another thing, pinning. You know, it just puts a little arrow basically on your screen to say, this is where you left your tank, you idiot. Do we want to do any more researches, or do we want to back it up? I guess maybe we should chug through on nuclear power if we're gonna switch to that at some point. But I might leave it for a little while after that. How are we doing on time? Oh, it's 6 o'clock nearly. Okay, I'll head up to the solar area. I don't think we've done too badly today. Obviously I got a bit distracted. We do now know obviously what sort of area. Oh, look, we've got a little colonisation there. I wonder if they're sending any attacks. They are. Okay. So really, unfortunately, we kind of need... Well, blocking that off won't be too difficult. Not least if we've got some actually useful cliffs. This is going to be more of a pain. Because that's quite a lot of area to block off. So that's a fairly long job. I mean, not ridiculously long, but it's just that's a lot of... And I could obviously keep this as is. And we could maybe just go across there and then straight down, maybe? Something like that. Or maybe connect those two up and go straight down there. Something along those lines. So there's a little bit of a, you know, shortcut we got. But I think we probably need to do... We probably do need to wall that off. Whoa. Oh. The train was going to get me then. So yeah, but then we need to be thinking about purple and gold builds and what we need to support them. I will probably build them first. You know, build the actual, this is what we need, and then we'll add in more production. We almost certainly need to do some outposts to grab more iron and copper. We need a kind of proper bit of smelting now that we can make electric furnaces. So there's all sorts of scaling up and stuff we need to do. But I don't think we're in too bad a place. As previously mentioned and discussed and said several times, the intention is to finish this series before Space Age launches, and in order to make sure that happens, I'm going to be streaming this every stream I do, basically, for now until the end, and I'll sneak in some extra ones if it doesn't look like I make it, but I don't think it'd be too much of a problem. I'm taking it as we will launch a rocket, you know, maybe get a Spidertron or something if we've got time, but otherwise we'll do that. That then therefore means SpaceX is, I guess, probably finished essentially. You know, I mean, literally, I can't see us finishing this, you know, next weekend or anything. But if we did somehow, then maybe I'd go back to that. But it's more likely I'll do something like a single stream of Satisfactory or a single weekend of Satisfactory or something like that to fill in the gap, really. So yeah, those are the plans. Obviously, I will still be continuing the Friday Facts videos. As you'll have seen, the format has changed a tiny bit. I wasn't intending to do the... I do like to do the whole, you know, as it used to be speculation and is now the discussion and reaction at the end. But I got a bit excited and carried away when I was doing this one. And it was just far easier to edit it in place. You know, so the discussion bits are throughout the video rather than just at the end. But yeah, that is... I want to put them at the end. I was just, as I say, I got a bit carried away chatting about stuff and realised that I was well, I got to the end and I realised I hadn't got anything left to talk about. I talked about it all, so yeah. Hopefully I'll be a bit more disciplined as I get more into the swing of things. But yeah, these will continue. I'll be doing all the Friday facts and where I can, offering commentary on them. The plan for streaming Space Age itself, as mentioned at the moment, is that I will prep a save so that we are ready to go. It might even be the one I'm currently working on, as it's going pretty well. But I'll prep a save so that we are ready to go to any one of the intermediate planets. I will put a poll up on my YouTube, what's it called, community board, and you will have a chance to vote for which planet you want me to go to first. And we'll do it literally as first place is the first day, second place is the second day, third place is the third day. I wouldn't be surprised if other people have already streamed the planets and stuff, so you might already know about them. But I'll be doing those as the first, second, and third day, and I'll literally do one day on each planet. At the moment, those are just going to be short streams because of work commitments, but I might actually be able to get away with. Is that all of the thingy power parts? I think it is, isn't it? Taking the time off, so we're still at 100 and 150. But yes, so that's the plan for that. The actual building of that base up to where it is, able to take us to other planets, I will do as a Let's Play type series, I think, which is the point. It won't therefore be my current play because I've not been recording it like an idiot. So yeah, those are the plans for all the content. It's 6:05, so yeah, let's get the schedule up. This is my live streaming schedule, as I say. We'll be streaming Space. That's right. We'll be streaming version 1 Farewell every weekend from now until Space Age finishes earlier. Then I'll think of something else to do. But that is the plan. I didn't even notice it's a nice flow. It's a nice flow if you watch the whole thing, but they can get long when the Friday Facts is long. So I understand that some want to skip to read the Friday Facts. Oh, I see. Sorry about the Friday Facts videos. Yeah, I kind of do it as because some people do. I can see in the metrics basically that some people just skip to the speculation bits because they, I don't know, just don't want to hear me read it out. They've already read it, what have you, and I'm totally happy with that. I kind of do it because it gives people the choice. But as I say, it requires me to be disciplined about not blathering on about my thoughts and, as it was, speculations, and leaving that to a record at the end, because if I do them integrated, it's incredibly difficult to edit them and it takes even longer. Especially when you get ones like this one, where, Arundel does great Friday Facts, but they tend to be a bit on the sizable side. So it can be a lot just to read through. And so I fully understand people don't necessarily want to listen to me reading it out. They want to read it themselves and they just want to hear my thoughts. So that's why I've been breaking it up, doing it that way. But I say, if I do get carried away, particularly now that, we're virtually there, I don't want to spend all my weekends editing the videos if I can actually play it. So it's allowed to stream the game after the 14th. Yes, technically, yeah. What they've said, the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, basically says after the 14th you can show the game and the mechanics and all that sort of stuff. And I think the intention is for people to do here's a guide to, here's top 10 top tips, and here's, 5 things the game doesn't tell you, all those type of, what the type of YouTube content you would expect. And I believe you can, I believe there's no specific restriction on those. What they have asked, what they've requested, is that people hold back on talking about the final planet and the end game. And I have decided to honour that request, not least of all, let's be frank, because I wouldn't have the time to do all that streaming and what have you. But for example, Nilhouse might start his series on the 14th or, rather than the 21st, and just play through. Because the problem, as I say, is that it is incredibly difficult not to show you stuff about the end game and Final Planet, especially when you're like me and you're very. I'm constantly going into the Factoriopedia and looking things up, and that has no filters on it. So basically, if I launch it, it could easily just show you a load of endgame stuff, and therefore that's why I don't. That's the big reason I don't want to stream it as well. As well as the fact that if I started it on the 14th, I'd be doing like an hour stream a night because I have to work, and then we wouldn't actually get as far as I can get as by doing a let's play and like chopping it up. Because then with the let's play, an edited one, I can just chop those bits out. I jumped into the Factoriopedia to look something up, just chuck that segment out, and there's no way you'll then see about the end game stuff. So that's my way of kind of honouring that request. I am sure other people won't do that. I'm sure other people will stream it, and so you'll be able to look at it and find out about it if you really want to. But say from my stuff, you won't find out about that until the 21st, basically. Think about back to all right. Okay, good. It will be good to see you again. Dear Lord, I don't know how I'll manage to not view everything that comes out after 14th. As I say, I'm sure people will be putting out, guides to the Final Planet and all that sort of stuff. So I would caution you, maybe don't check your socials and don't check your, don't use YouTube, I suppose, and what have you, or set up notifications on maybe people like me who aren't going to cover that stuff. I don't know if anyone else has said. I think Exterminator said he wouldn't, but yes, I think it's going to be very difficult to avoid it because if you're not following that thing, then you're going to get the scoop, as it were, and all the people who are perfectly happy to get spoilers will, watch that content. So I fully get why people want to do that. I was wondering why you were doing that after it plays about the Discord, but I think your account got hacked, didn't it? I seem to remember. I'm not actually sure if that link is still valid, but there you go. Yes, so I guess the other thing, as I say, if you are new here, you just wandered in. Every Friday, I go through the Friday facts every Friday. The video actually usually comes out, if possible, at 12 o'clock on the Saturday, but can be a bit later if it's a longer one and I'm doing an edit. So as well as the live stream schedule I was talking about, there is also my YouTube channel. That YouTube channel also has VODs for this series, as well as all the series I've done, which is an awful lot of Factorio, a Mega Base, No Spoon Run, what else? The Aesthetic series, and what was the other one that I was doing? The Blueprint series, both of which I'll revive for later on, once Space Age is out, for example. But then there's also a series of other factory and building games like Tectonica, Satisfactory, and several series of Dyson Sphere Program. As I've said, I'm not really going to be doing those as content for streaming unless I kind of need gaps to fill. It'll all be Factorio, really, for a good long while. But yeah, eventually they will come back and we'll do some series of those as well. So yes, so if any of that is of interest, then you've got your links and stuff there. Yeah, it did. Cool. And I think that's it. As I say, I'll be back tomorrow, same time. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.